Welcome to Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm Josh Cohen. Today I'm going to talk national sports. I normally just talk local, but like I said, I'm going to do some videos where I talk national sports. This is one of those videos because the NFL season starts this week. Thursday night is the opener. First game for the Vikings is on Sunday, and for most teams is this Sunday. So I'm going to preview the NFL season, and I could talk about this forever. I love football. I love the NFL. I'm not going to keep this short and quick. I'm going to just run through the division winners, the 3 wildcard teams for each conference, and then I'm going to list those 4 teams that are playing, that I think are going to play in the championship games for the conference, and then I'll list the Super Bowl and who I'm going to have win that. So, and I won't talk long probably about any of them for the sake of time because there are a lot of stuff. So as always, if you want to talk to me about it in the comment section below, let's have a conversation. Let's discuss it. I'm interested to see what you guys think. And then later this week, I'm going to do a Vikings preview. So talk just about the Vikings since that's my team. But I'm starting with total NFL, full picture of the season, who's going to win each division, and then who we're going to see in the Super Bowl at the end here. So for the NFC, I have the division winners, Bucks, Packers, Cowboys, Rams. Wild card, I have the Vikings, Seahawks, 49ers. The NFC West, I think, is a really good division, an interesting division, giving the Rams the edge in that division, in a really good division, really where all 4 of those teams could be playoff teams. I think I'm giving the edge to the Rams because I think if they got rid of Goff and brought in Stafford, I think they actually had a reason to. I think, McVay knew that Goff was holding them back, and I think he really knew what he was getting with Stafford. I have been pretty critical of Stafford. I guess a lot of people say that he's so good, but the Lions just don't give him the support that he needs. Well, now we'll see it. Even though I'm in the camp of I think sometimes he can get overrated because of the excuses of the Lions. He's going to have no excuses in LA right now with Sean McVay. There was rumors that he had to actually read the defenses for Jared Goff, and Jared Goff never really developed like McVay wanted him to. So I think having the quarterback that he wants, he got to pick his quarterback, without, there's a few exceptions, so many guys are available, but he went out and traded for his guy, for Matt Stafford. So he must have saw something that he liked and thinks Stafford can win with this team. So that's why I'm picking the Rams to win that, I think, really tough division. In the AFC, I have the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Titans. And then the wild card, I have the Browns, Dolphins, and Chargers. Again, the West is pretty good. I think the Broncos are going to be a lot better than certainly they were last year, but I think Teddy Bridgewater, obviously I'm a Bridgewater fan, so I'm going to always, lean towards him and probably overhype him and overrate him because I love Teddy Bridgewater. So I wanted really bad to put the Broncos in the playoffs, but that division is just really good, and so they're going to have it tough. I think I gave the Chargers a slight edge with Justin Herbert in his second year. So then the last 4 teams I have in the conference championship games are the Chiefs against the Bills. I know, it's prediction, so I'm not going to pick anything crazy to happen, even though it's the NFL, something crazy could happen. The best teams in the AFC are the Chiefs and the Bills. I'm still not 100% sold on Josh Allen. I don't know what it is. He was so inconsistent early on that I guess I had a hard time believing that what he did last year will stick, but he did it all year long. So he looks legit, and the Bills are good, and I think it's going to be the Bills and the Chiefs. I think they're the best 2 teams, so they'll be in the AFC Championship game. In the NFC, I have the Bucks over the Rams. Again, Bucks, not that difficult, not that surprising of a pick, but they brought back all 22 starters from the team that won the Super Bowl last year, so they're the best team in the NFC. I think the Rams are going to be really good, and so I put them in the NFC title game. But then my predictions are I have them losing to the Bucks. I have the Bucks against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I know it's such a boring prediction. I wanted to do something crazy. I wanted to pick whatever. I think, of those 2 teams, the Bucks are less likely to come back because I think the NFC is pretty wide open, but it's also pretty mediocre. So with the NFC, I think you have a lot of teams that are good, not great, and where I think the Bucks separate themselves as they're the one team in the NFC that is above good. Even though last year, most of the season, they weren't that impressive. I keep going back to the Vikings game. I thought the Vikings were the better team. Some calls and some big mistakes by the Vikings really turned that game and made it not even as close as it should have been. But I think the Vikings are the better team. But that's Tom Brady, right? He just keeps winning. Whether he doesn't always look that great, but he wins. And that's what he did with the Bucs. That defense was really good. Look what they did to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and really young. So they're going to be okay. Even though the quarterback is in his 40s, the rest of their team is young and talented. So I think the Bucs will be back there. I do, however, have them losing to the Chiefs this year. Yes, I like the Chiefs. My dad grew up in Missouri, so the Chiefs have always been kind of my second team. So maybe I'm a little biased in picking them, but I think the biggest reason I'm picking the Chiefs over the Bucs is because the Bucs won last year. Does that make sense? Yes, it does in my mind, at least. It's so hard to repeat in the NFL. There's not a lot of back-to-back Super Bowl champions. You know, every decade has a dynasty that seems to do it. Obviously, the Patriots kind of had two dynasties, but the Patriots were one of those teams that somehow consistently won continuously. But even then, they didn't win back-to-back that often. I know they did it, but not every time, right? Back-to-back is really hard to do in the NFL. Chiefs proved that last year, how hard it was to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I don't think the Bucs repeat because of how difficult it is to repeat in the NFL. So I am going to take the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, I think him and Andy Reid are the perfect fit. I did a whole video about it last year, I think, about how they're such a great fit, how the weapons around him, like Tyreek Evans and Travis Kelce, are perfect for what Andy Reid wants to do with Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, this is one of the craziest things ever, and we overlook it. Patrick Mahomes is almost a victim of his own greatness. We forget how good he is because it's only been 3 years that he's been the starter, but he's been so good in those 3 years and so consistent. The 3 years that Patrick Mahomes has been the starter for the Kansas City Chiefs, they have hosted an AFC Championship game all 3 of those years. That means they were the best team in the AFC. I mean, they hosted an AFC Championship game all 3 of those years. That's super impressive. They won 2 of those, and then they went to 2 Super Bowls and then won 1 of those Super Bowls. So in 3 years as a starter, it's ridiculous what he's accomplished. I don't need to talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is, although I could for a long time, but you guys know how great he is. So that's why I'm going to pick the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, to win the Super Bowl again, to beat the Bucs. That's my prediction. The season starts on Thursday. I can't wait. I love football. I want to know what you guys think. Before the season starts, make your predictions. Let me know who you see winning the Super Bowl, maybe your MVP pick, division winners, anything that is ridiculous in what I said, and you would say the exact opposite. Let me know, because I want to talk sports. I love talking football, especially the NFL. So comment below. Let me know what you think. If you like my video, not if I was right or not. You can disagree with everything I said, but if you like the content I'm creating, then like the video, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, and I'll see you next time.